Now on to politics and money with Dean Delisle. He is founder and CEO of Forward Progress. Great to have you back on the show, Dean.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So Dean takes a look at what's going on with marketing, and especially marketing that's done on social media. Good to have you on the show and talk about that with this big election happening.
I know, it's been so crazy.
It's so crazy. So far, who's doing the better job with social media, Dean?
Well, social media, it's measured in a lot of different ways, but Twitter seems to be the biggest outlet, and so everybody is like going crazy with how Trump and Hillary, and then Trump and Cruz, and so Trump seems to be in the middle of making the most noise and having the most conversations.
I'd say that's a true statement.
Right. Now, talking about true, we were talking about, right, so who's the most honest and who's the most authentic? So the crazy thing we look at is, you can put anything you want on social media, right? So that's a fact. And so we always look at who's the most careful and who's the most flowing. Now, Trump is the most flowing, we all know, and he does 98% of his own tweets and his own conversations, which you can tell if you go to his Twitter account. But it doesn't mean everything that he's saying is honest or real. I mean, politicians are politicians.
Well, there's some issues with him right now, and I know Joel Osteen, he's claiming that Joel Osteen is voting for him, and he has something going on social media, especially Facebook, and Osteen Ministries came out and said it's not true. We do not endorse any candidate.
Well, and this is the biggest challenge that we see, is that people say things in the moment. Where Hillary is very careful and cautious, she has her team do a lot of tweeting. And if you want to see something that Hillary is really saying, and we're still thinking that based on the delay of the information, that it's possibly filtered, but she puts a -H, so you know it's Hillary.
Oh, some people say she's too cautious.
And in terms of, and another part that we measure is who is talking with their audience versus at their audience, which is a big deal. So Twitter followers love to be in the conversation. We see this with sports, with celebrities. And right now, let's face it, all of our politicians are celebrities. So
that is true.
And people want to talk to them. So we look at that, and Bernie Sanders and Ted Cruz are probably the most connected to their audience. Like, they're not just saying things and announcing things, but they're talking with people, which matters a lot to Twitter followers.
It really does, and Cruz really is involved in this controversy with the National Enquirer and Trump, and he's disputing.
Right.
But maybe that wins. Maybe you have to dispute quickly when somebody says something about you.
That's usually how social media followers are. They're to the point where they really want to know what's real in the moment. And so that's a lot of the things that we measure too, like who's really in the moment. Now, the other thing that we have is, and this is, based on Twitter tools, is that Trump has about 60% of his followers are not real.
What?
And 40% of Hillary's followers are not real. So while they have the most, by almost double or triple the numbers, there's also reports that not everybody is a real follower, because you can create fake accounts on social media.
Wait, how did they get these fake people?
People create accounts, and then in the social media or marketing world, the wrong way to build social media following would be like for the show, if you were to go buy people to just follow the show. Well, that's not genuine. Those aren't real followers.
I can honestly say we are purely organic.
I know you are. That's one of the cool things I love about the show.
We're very organic.
Everybody that's watching this are real followers.
Real. And the tweets that go out really are from us, and anything on Facebook, it really does come from us.
Yes,
so
they are.
Thank you for sharing us, and thanks for sharing your insights, and please come back. We'll talk more business.
You got it. Take care. Thanks.